Also, how we prepare the equipment before something happened. So the most important thing for business community is, I think, how to survive during the disaster, and also how to keep your production connecting with the other counterpart, our alternative way of having a counterpart in other region. And in case big disaster happens somewhere in the world, in the region, Asia Pacific Alliance can have a good capacity to offer you to keep your business continuity plan to be okay. And first of all, I would like to show our way of investment for equipment mainly, because I have only 7 minutes. Please go. So okay, go ahead. This is the picture which we took in Kumamoto. Recently, we had a slightly minor earthquake in Kumamoto, but 2,000 houses were destroyed, and mostly it was impossible to be living in there. So as first patch, we send our search and rescue team to Kumamoto area. These are sceneries, and one of the dog is one very famous dog, our search dog, and then his name is Yumenosuke. He was actually rescued in an official shelter in front of gas chamber, and then the officers were almost killing him some hours later when we visited the animal shelters. And then by chance, inshallah, he came to us, and now he's becoming one of the very famous fundraiser among us, and he's earning more than $1 million US every year. So better than me. Anyhow, so the first of all, 6 years ago, when I insisted, having helicopters in case of disasters. And I insisted needed a kind of pre agreement with the helicopter companies. Everybody was laughing in my country, and then but actually I was very serious, so I could have a special treatment with one of the middle-sized helicopter company, because the owner of the company was very delightful of helping people in quiet conditions, especially in disaster case. And we could deploy a few helicopters every day when we got the tsunami 2011. So that's why we could send our team faster than some kind of governmental team to the area, the affected areas. So only helicopters are reachable when you have a big earthquake, especially tsunami case, and also earthquake like magnitude 7 point something, or sometimes magnitude 9. Okay, next. And also, if you think, chartering helicopters or leasing helicopters cost so much, but in an international standard of the prices, like in US, it's not so much, so can be manageable. And these pictures were taken in Kumamoto when our search and rescue teams are looking for one old lady who supposed to be inside the collapsed house. And we put our rescue dogs inside, and then allocating somewhere where she is. And also drone. In case of emergency, we need to take pictures of all over-affected areas, but also to the very specific area, specific point of geography, we use drone. And taking the pictures make our team effectively working in the field. And then also, this is a big landslide happened in Kumamoto earthquake, because it's very volcanic area, and the land is very weak for shaping. So that's why we got a very big landslide. And this landslide swept all the bridges away around there. So it was quite difficult for us to reach to the villages affected. And so that's why our helicopter could take our team from Hiroshima Prefecture, 400 kilometers away, to the point in 1 hour and 40 minutes. And then I was, by chance, sleeping in Kumamoto. Took more than 2 hours by car because all the bridges were swept away. Yeah, these the remains of the flood and landslide when earthquake happened in Kumamoto. So also these are other equipment. In case of landslide or also flood, most of the cars are not usable in water. If it's the depth of the water becomes more than 2 meters, only military cars can go. But some military cars cannot. So ours can be okay because it's floating in the water like this, and it's going, and it costs only 45,000 US dollars, made in Canada, not made in Japan. But it's very useful. So we have rescued so many elderly people when we got the flood in Japan. So we are now planning to deploy such a kind of equipment to Sri Lanka as soon as possible. And also helicopters as well. We are going to have a plan of helicopter special contract for utilizing helicopter in case of emergency, and maybe together with the governmental sector as well. And also this is satellite phone. Of course, our team each has got a satellite phone, Suraya. Every 3 people, one is delivered to each. And then also in case of emergency, we set up satellite communication systems for those victims of the disasters. So that's very also helpful for other people to contact with the remain of the family around. And also who are, maybe their offsprings are very worried about them living in big cities. So also they need to talk to their parents living in a rural site. So these are the big shelters we invented with Teijin, Japanese company. This is inflatable, and then in 20 minutes we can make it one of the biggest size of tent in my country in 20 minutes. So even military doesn't have such a things. So we have now 39, and mostly the private companies have been preparing for their own company members and also for customers. And in case they don't need such a tents, we can also utilize these tents for other crises or other disasters. With such a contract, we are working together. So we don't have to buy anything. Each company is now holding some shelters like this. And then in case of big natural disaster happens, affected areas, of course, the private companies are going to use such a tents for their own use. But also the rest of the other areas which are not affected, also we can utilize those rest of the tent for affected area. So such a wise way is very effective. And also emergency shelters tents also needed for each family. So family needs kind of privacy for some weeks. And when it's getting hot, also we prepare a container with air conditioning for those each private family. And this is just planning. We are going to purchase this kind of aircraft soon. This one goes 500 kilometer per hour as cruising speed, and then reachable over 2,700 kilometers. So means if we have such a airplane here, we can cover South Asia, including India or somewhere. Yeah. And also, I just came back from Florida actually to Sri Lanka. because searching for the new ocean platform, we say, well, this is a boat which can carry helicopters and it can be a station in case of emergency. And also for ordinary use, we can use this kind of boat for hospital boat hanging around in the sea of Indonesia or in the Philippines or somewhere in South Indian Sea. And then also maybe good for expedition tour as commercial. Yeah. So I think this is all. Yeah, like this. So maybe I am showing our toys or toys which we want to have, but these kind of equipments needed to be prepared before something happens, and then it worked very well. So it's kind of investment for NGOs, but also after sending our search and rescue team to the field affected, I think we can help your business continuity plan, BCP, using this kind of equipment, like sending your stuff by a helicopter to the point, or with satellite communications, or even taking the picture from the air, how your factories are affected from the air. We understand, how it's big or massive or small or blah blah, and also connecting with the business partner together as a mediator in case of emergency natural disaster. Also, we think it's a new role of platform to be a mediator between private companies. Yeah, that's all. Thank you very much. Oh yeah. And finally, but yeah, strongest equipment, so-called, those two dogs. Those two dogs are doing fundraising. I mean, they don't have intention, but anyhow, we are using them as a fundraiser. And then they have fundraised more than 10 million US. Yeah, so these are the strongest investment ever happened in our history. Thank you very much.